So now that we have our Shapamal drawn and we've drawn it on paper and then we're gonna put it on our styrofoam board, if we can use a styrofoam board, remember you can take one if you have a piece of meat, chicken, meat, steak, anything that might come on styrofoam board, or if you're at the supermarket, you could probably even ask the people at the meat section if they can give you one to use. And if you can't, that's okay. You guys can just color the drawing that you made of your Shapamal. Pick out your favorite one from your practice sketch and do it bigger, and then you can color it with any materials that you have. But if you can't get a piece of styrofoam board, then you're gonna carve your design into the styrofoam board using a pencil or a ballpoint pen. And I'm gonna show you guys how we're going to do a simple printmaking process to make some prints from this styrofoam board, which means that we can make more than one picture. So let's get started. We're going to make a print of our Shapamal. This is called pulling a print. And the thing that's fun about printmaking is that you can make many, many prints in different colors. We're gonna just use black right now. And if you have a rolling pin at home, you can use a rolling pin, but you probably are more likely to have a paintbrush. I'm gonna show you guys with a paintbrush, because that's what we're gonna use at school right now since we can't share our supplies and I don't have enough rolling pins for everybody. So I have a container that has some black paint. I have my Shapamal that I drew out on my styrofoam board. I have a piece of paper and I have a paintbrush. First thing I need to do at the bottom of my paper is I need to make sure I write my name. So I'm writing Mrs. Jenkins. Okay, and if you have a class code, write down your class code. All right, 2J, because second grade, and I'm Jenkins, but you guys would have a different letter to put on your class code. Now, I'm gonna take my paintbrush, I'm gonna dip it into my paint, and I am going to put paint over my entire board with my Shapamal. So I'm using a pretty thick brush, which makes it a little bit easier for me. I wanna work pretty quickly because I don't want this paint to dry up. And I want to make sure I'm getting all the little corners and nooks and crannies here. And we want to get that paint on there pretty thick. Once I have the paint all covered, I want to work quickly. I'm going to take my paper, I'm going to turn it upside down. So my name is now facing my paint. I'm going to line it up and I'm going to place it down. Now, once you place it down, don't lift it up and move it. So if you put it down and you feel like it's crooked, you know what, that's okay. We can always trim the paper afterwards. Notice how I'm rubbing the back of it and I'm making sure I'm getting inside those corners. You can cut your paper down a little bit if you want to make it fit perfect, but that's okay. You can do it just like this. I want to make sure I'm getting everywhere. Now I'm going to check it and see if it's working. So I'm not going to lift it all up yet. I'm going to peel a little bit of it and I see it's working. So let's pull that whole print. It's called pulling the print. And you can see most of it. I kind of lost part of his head over there. Maybe I had a little bit too much paint in there, but that's okay. That's the thing that's fun about printmaking, is that now I can learn from this and I can see that maybe next time I'm going to put a little bit less paint on my board when I pull my print. But that's okay. It worked out really well. I see most of the lines. See, the places where I had carved with the pencil are white because the paint doesn't get inside of those places. So now I can wipe my board off and then I could do a different color on it. And I could even use different color paper to do my print. So I could use white and do it on a black piece of paper or a red piece of paper. Or I can use any colors and just have some fun pulling a bunch of different prints. That's what's so fun about printmaking, is you don't just have one piece of art, you can have many, many pieces of art. So those of you that are at home, if you're able to do this, please send me a picture. If you can't do the print and do printmaking, send me a picture of you coloring in your Shapamal with whatever materials you do have at home. Okay guys, have lots of fun and don't be afraid to make a beautiful oops.